We're told we need to be healthy after 50. We need to be smaller. We need to shrink. We need to diet. But what if I told you the constant pursuit of weight loss is actually aging us faster? It weakens our bones and plays havoc with our metabolism. Today, we're going to talk about the dark side of dieting after 50. And there is a dark side. Nobody warned you about this, but it's there. Welcome. I'm Ann Johnson. Y'all ready to chat? I've been through menopause, going gray, weight loss, weight gain, weight loss, weight gain, weight loss, weight gain. It's like my body had plot twists with me along the way. I spent years on the hamster diet wheel. I'd lose 20, 30, 40 pounds and gain it all right back again. And I thought that was the way to do it. You starve yourself, you get down to a certain weight, and the weight wasn't maintainable, so is that a word? So you pop back up again. At least that was me. Anyone else like that? What I didn't realize was I was hurting my future self. I mean, at 25, you can bounce back from a crash diet. But at 55, the stakes are a little higher. So today, we're going to talk about 5 truths about dieting after 50 that, frankly, I wish someone would have told me when I was hitting 50. Truth 1, the muscle trade-off. And this one is a scary one. When you lose weight after 50, you're not just losing fat, you're losing muscle. There's a medical term called sarcopenia, which just means that when you get older, you lose muscle mass. But here's the deal. When you crash diet and lose all that weight, you lose muscle, you accelerate the muscle loss. So yes, the scale goes down. Yes, the jeans get smaller. Yes, we cheat, but at what cost? You're actually getting weaker. I had to face the uncomfortable truth that by crash dieting and severely cutting back on calories, I was actually hurting myself. And here's the kicker. Muscle is our metabolic engine. It helps us burn calories when we're at rest. And when you lose that, it doesn't come back. You lose a little bit of it every time you crash diet. So you crash diet and you might look better for about 10 minutes. Or if you're really good and you're good at maintenance, you might look better for years, but you end up being frail. I don't want to be heavy, and I'm not saying I don't still watch my weight, and I would like to take off a few pounds, but I don't want to be a frail old lady. I don't want to be a frail young lady. I've said this before, and I truly mean it. At our age, strength is the new size 2. Truth number 2, the bone density danger zone. Let's talk bones, because nobody wants to until something breaks. And let me tell you, I've had my fair share of breaks over the years. I truly attribute some of it to crash dieting. Other is genetic. During menopause, we all know this, estrogen drops. And estrogen helps our bones. So that means bone density is already under pressure just from menopause. Now, add chronic dieting to the mix, which was me. When we starve ourselves trying to hit a goal weight, we end up leaving out calcium, magnesium, vitamin D, protein. I know I did. But beyond nutrients, we need to talk about osteoporosis. We were taught lighter is healthier, smaller is better. But I got to tell you, bones don't care what size gene you. The dark side is you're trying to squeeze in that size 4, you may be increasing your risk of fracture later in life. And I'm not talking you chip the bone in your finger. I'm talking major breaks like a broken hip. I had to ask myself the question, is a dress size worth a broken hip when I'm 70? And you don't think about that when you're 50, 55, but you're 20, 25 years out from 70. I don't think it's worth the broken hip. What do you think? I'm trying to build a community with my chat. So before I move on to number 3, I want to ask you if you could subscribe. It really helps me out. And I think it helps other women out too. Thank you. Truth number 3, the metabolic revenge. Have you noticed it's harder to lose weight every time you diet? That's not your imagination. It's called metabolic adaptation. Emotionally, it's called betrayal from our own body. When you severely restrict your calories at 50, 55, 60, your body doesn't think, swimsuit season, we're going to the beach. No, instead of that, it thinks, we're starving. Something's wrong. Your body slows down and becomes very efficient. It thinks there's a drought, no food. So it starts storing fat, and that's the stubborn menopause belly. That's usually visceral fat stored around your organs. Your body's going into protection mode. Ironically, dieting trains your body into resisting losing weight. It hangs on to it instead. You eat less, but you lose less. You try harder, and the scale barely moves. That's not failure. That's biology pushing back. Truth number 4, the mental toll. This one hit me harder than any other one on maybe the muscle one hit me harder. But this one really bothered me, and that is putting your life on hold while you lose weight. Have you heard yourself saying this? I'll buy more clothes when I lose 10 pounds. I'll go on that trip when I'm skinny. I'll feel more confident when I lose weight. I've said every one of those things. Tell us in the comments if you've heard yourself think those thoughts. How many years have we postponed our lives waiting for a smaller version of ourselves? The dark side of dieting isn't just physical, it's emotional. It keeps us in this state of not yet, not good enough. And you know what? I got to tell you, at 50, 60, we have to live. This is not a dress rehearsal. We don't have the time to put ourselves on hold. Live. Truth 5, social isolation. This one sneaks up on you. Dieting can be pretty lonely. Have you found yourself skipping dinners out with friends because you don't know what to put in your mouth once you get into the restaurant? Are you passing on wine because of the sugar? I mean, I used to study a menu like I was taking an exam, and conversations would be going on around me, but I'm like, okay, this has so many calories and this one has so many calories. I can't have that. Are you doing that too? When we turn food into the enemy, we not only restrict our calories, we restrict our lives. And over time, that isolation can chip away at our emotional and physical health. Loneliness is dangerous. Is a crash diet worth the cost? Now, I'm not saying ignore your weight. I keep a close look at mine, having been much heavier than what I am right now. Do I want to lose a little more weight? Yes, but I'm not going to starve myself to do it. Cutting out the junk, I'm cutting out some other things that I've been creeping up eating lately. And I am saying that we need to be smarter when we get into our 50s and 60s. We can't just not eat and expect good results. There's too much at stake with our body. At this stage in the game, we need to nourish, not crash diet. Shift the focus from loss to gain. Gain muscle with protein and strength training. Gain energy with whole, satisfying foods. Gain life by stepping off the scale and living a little bit. I promise you, if you stop fighting your body and start supporting it, you'll find yourself not only in better shape, but in a better place. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for the chat.